Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at a fun art technique called a parabola or a parabolic curve. To complete this, you need a ruler and a pencil. Now I like a mechanical pencil because the tip is easy to extend and also it gives you a more exact little finish. I'm using a ruler today that happens to have centimeters on it, so I want to start with a centimeter ruler. Okay, the first thing you'll need with your piece of paper is to set up your ruler and do a 10 centimeter line. Something like that right there. Our next step is to make a right angle with this, and we want to go right to the end, and we want to make it perpendicular to the first one. So we'll draw that line out coming this direction, something like that. I want those to pretend to connect. Excellent. Now I need a mark for each centimeter here. So I'm going to set my ruler carefully and then just put a little mark every time I come to a centimeter line. So as you can see with this sample, when I'm done, I'm going to have exactly 10 lines, and I'm keeping these little hash marks really short. I want to connect to the axis, not to the hash marks when it's time for me to actually draw this. So we'll use this same technique over on this side where we just do one tiny dot or hash mark, a little stubby line, almost like we're making a number line. And for this, you'll see that that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to connect two number lines. Okay, I've got my tiny little dots here. They're quite small and short, so they're not obtrusive when I finish my work. Just enough to see where they are. Now, because I'm just starting, what I want to do here is number, and I want to start by numbering down this way and out this way. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and so on. Till I get to 10. But I want to number this one out. So this is backwards from an ordinary XY axis when we've done our dot plots and our coordinate grids. We've always had the x-axis going this way, but the y-axis was numbered from 1 going up. So we're doing that just opposite of what we would do ordinarily. And when we flip that line, you'll start to see that we get a really interesting thing happening. Okay, so for now, what I want to do is play connect the dots. So I'm going to start with dot 1, and if I place my pencil where I want to start and then move the ruler in, then I can just draw a line and I'll connect 1 to 1, and so on down the line until I connect all 10 dots. So I'll take a moment here and do that. 2 to 2, place my pencil, move the ruler, set it to connect with 3, and so on until I reach 10. You'll see that it gets a nice, interesting look to it here. You can see I'm not taking my own advice right now because I'm having to reach kind of far out onto my table here to get around this iPad stand that's holding up my camera. I think with a better tripod or something, this would be just a touch easier. Nonetheless, it's still going to work. So I mark 7 and match it with 7, and so on until I reach 10. 8 goes with 8. You can kind of see at the top that I'm getting this really cool looking design. And with all my straight lines, what I've made is a really nice gentle curve, which is kind of interesting that you can make a curve only out of straight lines. So let's do this last one. And you can see that what I get is this really cool looking curve shape right here, even though I only used all straight lines. I didn't use any curved lines at all. So with a little practice, what you'll see is that you can, instead of marking on every centimeter, you can mark on every ½ centimeter, which would be in these locations. So instead of just marking at 1 and then at 2 and 3, I marked at a ½ 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2, 3, and so on. And so I get a better approximation of a curve. I get a really nice curve that's a lot more smooth on the bottom one than the top one. And since I practiced a little, I don't need to write the numbers anymore. Now, there are a couple of fun things you can do with this. One of them would be to make a T shape out of this design, and you'd number from 1 to 10 here, and 10 to 1 this direction, and 10 to 1 this direction, coming down, and then 10 to 1 going out. And so this will make a really cool star with a curve coming in each area right here. So that's a fun thing to try. Make a plus sign and then see the curves appear out of that. Another thing you can do is to make a long line. So this line is 20 centimeters long. The short line here is only 10 centimeters long. But in order to make enough dots on this side, I did half centimeter marks on this line and full centimeter marks on this line. And you can see when I'm finished, this is going to make a really cool arrow design or something like that. So here's a fun way to spend an afternoon when you don't have anything else to do, your homework is done. What we're making are called parabolas or parabolic curves. You can do some research online and find what other people have done with this great idea. It's kind of fun to do it with colored pens and change the colors periodically. It's also fun to take your design and then color in every other square so that when you're finished, you get this amazing checkerboard design. It looks really, really cool. So you can kind of see where that's going to go if I were to take my time and make this look really great. Meanwhile, have fun, enjoy your time with your family, stay happy and healthy, and give art a little try when you're away from school. See you later.